on, intro. It's intro time. Shush. Everyone shut up. What's going on, main characters? It's your boy Talks Too Much with Third Party Studios. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're talking about Captain America Brave New World. They have cut their runtime in the movie, making it now the most expensive per minute Captain America movie ever. We have that and a lot more to get into in this video, so stay tuned for that. If you are new to the channel, consider subscribing, share the video out there, smash that like button, and with all of that out of the way, let's get into the video. I want to talk about Captain America. You want to move on to that?
Do you really want to talk about Captain America?
I was reading the article on it, and holy shit, that I didn't realize how big this fire was. This is gonna burn them down. This is gonna hurt financially. It's gonna kick them in the balls.
It already hurts financially because they shot 2 movies and cut it into one, and then dropped another 45 minutes out of it.
Yeah. So let's just go through the article real quick from Montanaro over at That Park Place. Captain America Brave New World runtime shows it's the shortest yet most expensive Captain America movie to date. Troubled film cost nearly $3 million per minute, and I'm just impressed by the amount of money that Disney can burn. Because you remember the last podcast we did, we were talking about Batwoman. We were talking about the Batwoman movie being scrapped as a tax write-off. I saw a couple of comments talking about that, saying that that's actually common practice. I don't suspect that to be as true as it was.
Studios don't make full movies and then scrap them for tax write-offs.
Right. If it costs you $100 million, I don't know how much you're not getting $100 million in taxes written off and back. It's not a one-for-one. You still lose money doing that. So I don't think that that's actually the practice that the comments made it seem like it was. I'll dig deeper, but for Captain America...
Holy shit! All right, I just did the math on that. It's about $345 million to make this movie.
Jesus! I wonder if that... Okay, so 300...
It's probably more. Oh, there we go. $350 million.
Okay, so from That Park Place, at just 118 minutes long, this film will be the shortest Captain America movie to date, yet its budget has reportedly ballooned to a staggering $350 million, which means that it costs a jaw-dropping $2.9 million per minute of runtime. Holy crap.
Yeah, and this thing's been in production for a while.
Yeah.
Like, this, I'm sure I've talked about it multiple times before, but, like, screenings of this movie in-house, people are like, this fucking sucks, dude.
Well, yeah.
And now Marvel's to the point where it's like, all right, it's passable. So we're going to release it.
I want to get your take on this part. I have a theory about Endgame and the Infinity Saga. Do you think that the Infinity Saga was a isolated, contained, complete story that needed to be ended wholesale, or if given better films, if given better stories, if not is it stage 4, phase 4,
stage 4 cancer? Yeah.
Yes, phase 4 cancer in Marvel. If it wasn't for phase 4 and the female power led MCU mission, I mean, do you think that there was still more good stories to add into the Marvel universe post Endgame, post No Way Home? I mean, do you think there was more to tell, or do you think it should have been done?
I mean, I don't know a lot about comics and whatnot, but like there were paths to go after Endgame, and they chose the worst one, I would say.
Because
they're playing you could have just slowly phased out the Avengers after Endgame. It's like, all right, and then bring in different shit like Fantastic Four,
right,
X-Men, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
you didn't have to go into this. D+ also kind of just screwed Marvel as a whole, because they're just starting to make we need to put shit on our streaming service. It doesn't matter what it is or how good it is or whatever. Just we need content.
That's a good argument, because the TV shows, I think, probably hurt the most. I think that was, I mean, I'll clarify. The movies have been almost uniformly bad. I would say there have been a couple of movies that pass the sniff test when it comes to like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which love it or hate it, it wasn't the sewer like pipe sludge that we constantly get. And then you have Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, there were a couple of, I mean, even Thor Love and Thunder was a travesty, but it had its people singing its praises because there was comedy in it and there was a couple of things to like with Christian Bale, with the colors, cinematography was actually pretty good at certain times, and there was comedy in it. Again, I don't want to rehash that debate. We've talked.
Do you want to defend that movie?
No, I don't. I'm steel manning the fact that there were a couple of things to like from Marvel over the last several years post No Way Home.
I think there's only 3 movies that are acceptable.
Yeah.
I mean, No Way Home, Guardians 3, and Deadpool.
Marvel Jesus. We get
Marvel Jesus.
Well, that's the thing. Is like there were like if you give people who are passionate and actually love the Marvel universe like the wheel, you get successes like Deadpool and Wolverine. Like you just make something for the fandom, and again, like no one's going to a superhero movie expecting cinema, right? Like we're going there to be entertained. These are not The Godfather or the Titanic. These are not like masterpieces of entertainment.
Quick question though.
Shoot.
Out of all the superhero movies, would you classify or could you classify one as cinema?
I think you could probably make a soft case for a few of them.
Like Martin Scorsese says it's cinema because he's the one that bashed Marvel. It's like a roller coaster.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I think you misspoke. He said it's not cinema. I think that's what you meant to say.
Yeah.
Because Robert Downey Jr. talks about that, and like after that comic goes wild, I think you could probably make a case for something in there. Now I have to think about the quality of about 30 films right now in this moment, trying to make a case. For a question I wasn't really ready for, but I would suspect that out of all of those movies, you could probably I would say that No Way Home is. I would make the case that No Way Home is. It was a story that actually spanned, let's see, 3, 5, 8, 3, 5, 8, and then 2 more. So probably about 10 movies. It was a story that spanned about 10 movies between all of the Spider-Man characters who were involved, all the villains who were involved. And I think that it was emotional. I think it was well directed. I thought it was a good story. I think there's a lot you could say about No Way Home in the sense that it was more than just your superhero film. It was definitely worthy of all of the praise it acquired, and it definitely earned every ticket sale, I think.
I mean, I'll just like on the basis of cinema, I'll disagree with you. I think it was just nostalgia bait, and I love it. But
I'm curious, how would you answer that question? Like, is there one that stands out for you?
I've been going through all of them too. And it's like go off more. Like you got Sin City. Like it doesn't have to be in the Marvel universe. You got Sin City.
Good point.
Maybe V for Vendetta. Like it would be the early 2000s.
Are you thinking The Watchmen? Does that fall in your category, or do you think The Watchmen is?
Oh, Watchmen. Watchmen's fucking fantastic.
Right. So I guess I was thinking more Marvel specifically because it felt like that was the thing Scorsese was talking about, and then obviously Robert Downey Jr. Marvel reacts to it. If you narrow it down,
superhero films can be cinema. Just you gotta take it seriously, I guess.
Yeah, you do have to. Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think I would stand. I mean, maybe this is a bigger conversation. Maybe it's
probably
we could talk about.
Skip it. Skip it. Next.
We'll come back to it. Maybe it's just a bigger conversation. But
Captain America, it's like their projection for opening weekend is 80 mil or some shit like that, and the first one, I think the projection was in the 90s.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But that sounds about right for their projections. But if it gets 50, I'll be surprised. I don't think it'll get there. I think what was it? The Marvels made like 80 in its entire run.
Yeah, it was under 100.
And I think that we can look at the the last Captain America film that came out, and I don't think we're gonna.
But you underestimate the normies. Like, it's Captain America, so like people that don't watch trailers or whatever, they're expecting Steve Rogers.
Right.
Like Disbrew has a anecdotal with like going to watch 2019 Joker with Joaquin. His father thought it was like a expanding on Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh shit.
So it's like the normies don't really pay attention, or it's like there's a name built in. They're like, oh, let's go see that. And it's like nothing what they were expecting.
I don't see the normies saving this.
Nah.
I don't think so. Now, okay, maybe I'm underestimating. I think my 60 million holds, but at least for opening weekend.
Total box office?
No, opening weekend. Opening weekend.
Okay.
Opening weekend. If they're projecting 80, I'm thinking 60. I think that they're probably not going to hit. I don't think they're going to hit their 80. I think that's a really over. I think that's, even though it's lower than the previous estimation or projection, I still think that's way overshooting.
They also count it as a 4-day weekend opening. It's Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's cheating. That's girl math.
Yeah, that's girl math. Definitely.
You guys know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean, boy. we know what I mean. But yeah, apparently, so in the article, it goes on to say that the 350 million projection is low, and that it could be even up to 375 million at 3.1 million per minute. And comparing it to, let's see, Captain America: The First Avenger at 124 minutes long with a $140 million budget in 2011 to make 1.1 million per minute. Captain America: Winter Soldier at 136, because you forget how common it is now for movies to go over 2 hours. Like, that's almost like required runtime now.
I know that's the complaints for a bunch of people, where like movies should be like 2 hours or less unless it's like an epic, but I'm like, I like long.
I do too. You could fit more story, and if you're someone who actually wants a good story in a film, like more story, more setting is good. Now, how you use that time is obviously the catch. That's the thing that matters.
Right. You're already going to the theater and losing over 2 hours because the whole time so you get there, get your snacks, get your seat, watch all the goddamn commercials,
yeah,
previews.
You're just rounding up. Yeah,
it's like I can spare another half hour.
Right. Captain America: Winter Soldier at 136 minutes long with $170 million to $70 million budget to 1.2 million per minute, and then Civil War, which I get it, it's a Captain America film. I think Captain America: Civil War is miscategorized. I think it's probably a bad title. I get it, whatever. But it's Captain America.
It should have been its own arc, but
agreed.
Whatever.
And maybe it even could have been another, like, 2 movies or something. Part 1, part 2. Anyway, 148 minutes long with a $250 million budget, and obviously, what a huge spike there.
Well, I mean, 50 million of that went to Robert Downey Jr.
Right. With a 1.6 million
you had,
per minute.
like, the whole Avengers cast, so like the casting budget
it was huge. You had a lot of.
I guess it still made good use of their time, technically.
Yeah. All of that. So then we go into okay. Brave New World is. Let me read this paragraph. Brave New World is plagued by reports of numerous rewrites and reshoots contributing to its inflated budget. With reshoots and marketing, it's estimated that the total cost of the film could approach $500 million. That means the film will have to make somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 billion to make a profit. It doesn't stand a snowball's chance in hell of getting close to that number. If it breaks,
no.
I would be dumbfounded, absolutely dumbfounded. If even global numbers, it breaks 500 million. That would surprise.
Is that going to be your estimate? 5?
Well, 500 million is the cost of as an estimated cost of the film. That's the number that the article gives us to work with. I don't think it's going to.
What's your estimated, like, how much do you think it's going to make globally?
I would like to see what Marvel's made, and not because I think it's going to be comparable, but as a baseline. I think it'd be good to know what the baseline for Marvel's was.
Well, I mean, Doctor Strange made, or no, was it Ant-Man? I think Ant-Man made like 470-ish.
I think, well, if that's what that number is, then I'm probably pretty far off. Okay, actually, Marvel's. So the estimated budget for Marvel's was 220 million. We already know that from like the tax returns and stuff, or like the tax documentation for Disney, that was bullshit and way far off. I wish they'd come back and correct some of these numbers. But then the gross worldwide was 206 million, so it lost money on even its estimated budget. So 200 million from Marvel's, and then you see Ant-Man's success, or Ant-Man's making about 400 million. I really, really don't think that that Anthony Mackie's Captain America Falcon character is that popular. I think that the Red Hulk is also going to turn off normies.
Captain America's popular. Falcon's not.
Right. I think that I think Red Hulk is going to turn people off. I think it looks cheesy and stupid. I think people, all of the star power that comes from Harrison Ford is immediately offset by anyone even watching half of the trailer and seeing Red Hulk. So I don't think people are going to look for it and be like, "Oh, look, a Harrison Ford's in this. It's going to be awesome." Someone's going to tell that person he's Red Hulk. And then
I don't think Harrison Ford. I don't think Harrison Ford has that star power anymore.
Not anymore. But that's what I'm saying.
I don't think anyone really gives a shit.
I think Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, people are going to that movie because it's a comedy. I think people are going to that to laugh a little bit. I really don't think this is... See, I got to answer your question. I can't just leave your question out there hanging and not answer it. So with an estimated total cost of 500 million, what do I think this will make? If Ant-Man's most recent film made 400 million, I would guess this probably makes... probably about 400 million, maybe 350 to 400 million. That's what I would guess. I don't think this is going to be as popular as Ant-Man. I don't think Captain America movies tend to be. I don't think Captain America movies tend towards the most successful of the franchise. So that's my guess. I mean, are you thinking it's going to break its 500 million?
No. Hell no.
What's your number? I'm just curious.
I'm gonna go
300 million. Okay, so I'm even a bit higher than you are on that.
It's the last like successful Marvel movie was Doctor Strange Mom, and I think like after it was all said and done, marketing and whatnot, the return was like $80,000 that they made.
It covers one salary. That doesn't even cover one salary of the crew at Disney. Disney Marvel.
I don't know if you know this about like millionaire investors, but they don't spend millions of dollars to make 50 grand.
What? What are you telling me, Cody? What are you saying right now? You troublesome fool, you.
I mean, I would.
I would take that 50,000 in a heartbeat. That sounds great. I love cash. All in all, this movie is going to bomb so freaking hard. I hope people are entertained by this because it's not doing anything for story. It's doing nothing for storytelling. It's doing nothing for Hollywood. I'm frustrated that Anthony's still doing this project and still a part of it. He used to be the guy who was singing the praises.
I love Anthony Mackie and whatnot, and he's good as Falcon. It's just they like in Winter Soldier, they're basically setting Bucky up to be the next Captain America. Yeah. But in 2019, we had so much fucking DEI and diversity and blah 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 blah. That's like now we gotta make Falcon
exactly
next Captain America. It's like he was not even a super soldier. Fuck, he is.
Well, that was actually frustrating. That was another frustrating thing. I wish they had the photo in here in the article somewhere. But you have Captain America like holding up his shield and blocking Red Hulk's punch. And I'm sitting here thinking like they better explain in the movie that they gave him super serum or made him super strong somewhere in this film. Like that's not something that could be slept on.
You know how they got their. He's got a full vibranium suit, so that's how he can take the punch.
Okay.
Because vibranium absorbs energy, but it doesn't really explain how he can do like super strong shit.
That's the thing. That's the thing. It's they need to explain that, or just, I mean, for fuck's sake, just get, if he's gonna be Captain America long term, give him some super serum so that he can be like Captain America. And I like it. Like
take the jab, man.
Just take the vaccine. But Anthony, I like Anthony Mackie a lot as an actor too. But he used to sing praises about. He used to be a lot more based, and I just don't. I don't think they're putting. I don't think they're utilizing.
Sandwich. You ever see that?
I did. That's what I'm talking about. He did that, and he was talking about actors in Hollywood. Like he was very aware that you are not going to see superstars anymore. There's no Sylvester Stallone film. There's no who else was he talking about? The governor of New York, the Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're not going to see the Sylvester Stallone, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Tom Cruise. Like, they don't have like star power anymore. You're going to see the Captain America. You're going to see the Iron Man. You're now it's about characters. It's not about actors anymore. Yeah. And he was very aware of that. Yeah. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm like, dude, you used to be like so aware of this stuff. You have to know that this movie's a flop. And I just wish we were like getting like Henry Cavill. And even, who was the girl who played Wednesday in that Netflix series spinoff of Addams Family? Like, you have actors who are actually pushing back against their writers and against their teams. And
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
You have actors who actually stand up to their writers and say, like, this doesn't make sense. You're doing a bad job with this. Like, this isn't how this character would behave. Like, we need actors to call out their writers more. I mean, you're playing the role. You understand how this character should interact in this moment. The writer is missing something. You're not doing the film. You're not doing the studio. You're not doing yourself, the industry, entertainment, and as a idea. You're not doing any of it any good if you're just keeping your mouth shut and taking a paycheck. Like, so it's frustrating. Frustrating as shit.
Well, I think you would have gotten the idea when they had to reshoot the entire movie. I was like, oh, this isn't great.
Well, he's in it. He's contractually obligated. I mean, there's a million reasons why he has to stick it out, but it's not like that was an excuse that stopped Ortega or Cavill from fighting back. I mean, shit, even Ryan Reynolds. I mean, you could actually make the case Ryan Reynolds is the best advocate for, like, saying fuck off to the writers or the studios. It's like, if you could be Ryan Reynolds in this industry. Now, there's 10,000 typical actors to every one Ryan Reynolds. But I'm just saying we need more people who are powerful in Hollywood, recognizable names to stand up and just push back a little. Like, think about how much better your movie would be if we had some belief that your writers or your actors were going to do a decent portrayal of the characters, right? I mean,
all right,
it's just bullshit. Fuck you, piece of shit.
Fuck you. But I mean, like, the other thing Marvel's doing with, like, Daredevil.
I tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life.